Good evening, brothers and sisters. How was your day? I hope it was pretty good. And to those of us who live in Utah, a happy Pioneers Day. While this is not a federal holiday, most businesses are closed, as was mine. So I didn't get to go to work. So I spent pretty much all day playing video games. It was kind of nice. I did try and go to the store and get some supplies. Yeah. So, trying to think of a question to ask concerning this chapter. This one it's a little more difficult. I've been thinking for quite a while, and I got it. What would happen if two people of the tribe of from the Nephites, if one wanted to expand their land, how would they do it? Well, today we are going to learn what one man did to expand his land, and unfortunately the consequences were dire. So let's get started. Today we are on Alma chapter 50. Now this is the official spot where we have 13 chapters left. So that means in just over 2 weeks, we will be getting into the book of Helaman. And it's going to be exciting. That means we're getting closer and closer to third Nephi. And this is probably hands down one of the favorite books in all of the Book of Mormon. I don't know of anyone that wouldn't say that, because this is where we start talking about the birth and life of Christ. This is where, in the old world, this is where all of this is taking place. And we get to see what takes place over here while Christ is alive over there. It's quite exciting. So, with that, welcome to my channel. My name is Kevin. I am an elder in Israel, and as one YouTuber put it, I'm simply a man with a camera. But the difference is I have a lot of knowledge and a lot of understanding of the scriptures that I wanted to share, and so I created my channel to share what I know. Now, I am not one of these all-knowing, I'm not a college-educated person. I lasted about a month and a half of college, and I dropped out. So technically, I can't even call myself a college dropout, because I didn't last long enough to really do it. I found I don't learn the same way the schools teach. I need to go directly to what I'm learning in order to learn it. So I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste money. I just want to learn. So if you're wanting someone who is more scholarly, more educated over these things. Oh, I wouldn't say educated, because I wouldn't say that. Professionally trained. there are lots of channels out there that you have these amazing people who have years of training, and they have different insight. But I'm just me, and these are my thoughts. Take or leave them. That's all I say. But I do welcome you to my channel because I do love to share what I've learned, and I hope it helps you with your walk in Christ. And that's my main goal, is to help you in your walk with Christ to make it a better life for you. So with that, let's get started. Now, if you remember from the last chapter, Moroni had fortified the cities to protect them against Ammonihah and his, or not Ammonihah, Amalekihah, from his armies attacking, which are the Lamanites, and protect the people of Nephi. Well, we're kind of going to be taking over there. Moroni so this chapter could actually, if we go on subjects, this could be cut into 2 chapters here. Because the first half, we're talking about the fortification of the people of Nephi. And then, where is it? They're building more cities, but about... where was it? About a little over halfway. So about verse 25, this actually cuts, we focus from the building of cities, the fortification of cities, to a contention that happened. So this is one of the chapters where it just cuts in half. I think this would have been more of a better spot to cause for a chapter, in my opinion, that these two could have been separate chapters, and no one would be wise than nevertheless wiser, whatever that saying is. So on the 20th year of the reign of Judges, Moroni is causing cities to be built and to be protected. And here in verse 1 it says they should commence in digging up heaps of earth around their cities throughout all the land which was possessed by the land of Nephites, and caused ridges to be put around on top of the ridges to the height of a man. And this is what they were doing throughout all the land of Nephi. And they'd put pickets on the towers, or on the hills, but they also caused towers to be built so that they could see the Lamanites come in, and they'd be able to defend the city. And this he caused to be all throughout the land. Now, in verse 7, we see that Moroni also caused that the army should go into the east wilderness and drive out all the Lamanites that are hiding there. So they're trying to play guerrilla warfare here by hiding in these wildernesses. And Moroni's not having it, so he drives them from the east wilderness, it says here in verse 7, and drove them, all the Lamanites who were in the east wilderness, into their own lands, which is south of the land of the Lamanites, or of the land of Zarahemla. Now, this is an interesting statement here in verse 8. And the land of Nephi did run in a straight course from the east sea to the west. So it's just like this. Here's the sea east, here's the sea west, and this is the land of Nephi. So I'm trying to imagine what it would look like wherever it was. Was it just a rectangular shaped oblong? It's interesting. People smarter than me can figure this stuff out. When I picture this, let me pull up a picture real quick. Images. Now, I don't support either the homeland theory or the South, but when I hear a statement like this, I immediately started thinking of the land between Lake Michigan and Lake Huron. That's where the Nephites were. It's just kind of weird, but then you also have South America or Central America, where it's not perfectly northeast or east-west, but it's there. But sometimes I start thinking about where was the land of the Nephites and Lamanites, and I don't want to get into that because my focus is doctrinal, and I just got signed out of my church account. So give me 1 second. There we go. All right, so yeah, verse 8 was just a weird one. So let's move on. Talks about more geology stuff, fortifications of the land, fortifying the land between the Nephites and the Lamanites. Now, here, verse 11 is just, it's one big geology of the Nephite nation. I'm just gonna skip this. I can't make sense of it. I know there are people that when they see this, they understand it. It's just not me. Now, among the things that the Moronites haven't done is building new cities because the population is growing. They begin the foundation for cities between the city of Moroni and the city of Aaron, joining the borders of Aaron and Moroni. And they call the name Nephihah after the chief judge, which is kind of cool. And I'm going to skip the rest of the geology, and someone's going to tell me it's something else, but I don't care. Let's see. Now here, verse 18, I love this. Now, if we remember what, and this is actually mentioned down here in 20 and 21, or 20. If we remember back when Nephi was talking at the beginning of the Book of Mormon, the Lord told him that if he should keep the commandments, he would prosper in the land. But this is the second time we've seen this, where Mormon refers to Lehi. So there's this little thing in the book of Lehi that unfortunately we don't have, that where the Lord had talked to Lehi and promised him the same thing. We see this happen a couple times. If we look at this, verse 19 and 20, it says, "And thus we see how merciful and just are all the dealings of the Lord to the fulfilling of his words unto the children of men. Yea, we can behold that his words are verified even at this time, which he spake unto Lehi." Now what he says to Lehi, the first time we actually get to see it is to Nephi, because we don't have the book of Lehi anymore. But it says, "Blessed art thou and thy children, and they shall be blessed, insomuch as they shall keep my commandments. They shall prosper in the land. But remember, inasmuch as they will not keep my commandments, they shall be cut off from the presence of the Lord." So in the book of Lehi, this promise was given first to Lehi. Now that brings me to an interesting thing. The Abrahamic covenant that all of us are under was first given to Abraham, okay? Then to Isaac, and then to Israel, or Jacob. So these promises were passed on from father to son to son. Same thing here. The first was given to Lehi, then to Nephi, and then every prophet since then has mentioned it. And it's quite interesting that these same covenants God makes with each children to keep it alive and new in our minds. And these are passed on to us. Remember, when we are doing what God has commanded, we will be blessed. But once we start rebelling against him and going against what he's commanded, trouble ensues. So let's continue. Now, we've seen this promise throughout the Book of Mormon so far. When the Nephites are righteous, they prosper. When they don't, destruction comes, chaos comes. And so for the 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd years of the reign of judges, there were peace throughout the land. But unfortunately, in the 24th year, and this is where we could actually cut it off right here, at between 24 and 25, we can make this a new chapter. And so what happens is there was a contention between the land of Morianton and this land of Lehi. So as we continue, we see that Morianton wanted to expand their land. So they invade the land of Lehi. Well, that's not how things are supposed to work. And the people of Lehi or the people in the land of Lehi, don't like the fact that Morianton is invading their land. So they go to the camp of Captain Moroni and appeal for their assistance because, hey, they're trying to take over our land. And now, the man that is over the land of Morianton, his name is actually Morianton, so he was sent there to establish the land. And they reported the people in Morianton were afraid that they would come and destroy them. Therefore, Morianton, and we find out later that he's actually a wicked man. He put it in their hearts that they should flee because Moroni is going to come and attack them. Now, that's what Morianton is putting into the hearts of his people. What actually would have happened, and this is just me, a delegate would have came, they would have tried to talk it out and try and work out something. But no, Morianton tried to put it into their hearts that it would be wicked, or that they would be destroyed. So what they decided to do, they were planning to leave to the land northward, where there's and it says it's covered with large bodies of water, and so they were planning to do this. Unfortunately, Morianton, he had a bit of a temper, and so one of his maids, angered him, and he beat her. And fearing for her life, she decided to flee to Captain Moroni. And she told Captain Moroni everything, how they were planning to flee to the land northward. And so they were getting ready to leave. And here in verse 32, it says that they feared that they would hearken, or they feared that they would hearken to the words of Morianton and unite with his people. And this they obtained possession of those parts of the land. Now this chapter confuses me, and maybe someone who understands these things a lot better can actually explain what's going on here in 32. Because I've read this thing like 10 times. If this is the people of Lehi, if it's the people of Morianton, but Moroni sent an army to the people of Morianton to stop their flight. Well, they didn't, so the army didn't actually get in time before they start taking off, but they did stop them from entering into the land of desolation. So, the army that was sent was led by a man named Teancum. And the people of Morianton and this is where we learn he was a wicked man, and he had flattering words. And they went, and I'm sure Teancum's purpose was just to go to talk to him, find out what's going on, try and work something out. But Morianton didn't like that, so a battle began. So in the middle of the battle, Morianton was defeated, and the rest of the people were taken prisoner and escorted back. Now, this is awesome right here, because Moroni did not punish them, but what they did is they restored them to the land of Morianton and returned what land Morianton had taken from the people in the land of Lehi, gave back their land. And they made them covenant down here. That they would, oath and covenant of peace and freedom. And then we come back up, that it states that Nephihah had reigned as second chief judge, that he passed away, but he did so with perfect uprightness before God. So he had lived the commandments. He had loved the Lord and had kept the commandments and encouraged people to also do so. So, and every once in a while we have these inserts from Mormon that you're just like, what's he thinking? And this is one of them, 38. He's putting in here that Alma had offered him the possessions of the sacred items that Alma and his fathers had kept. But Nephihah didn't want them. So Alma conferred them upon his son Helaman. This is out of nowhere that Mormon puts this in. I don't know why. It's kind of weird for me. But since the chief judge's position is now vacant, they needed someone. So here in verse 39 it says that, and remember, they do this a democratic way. They vote for the person that they want. So the son of Nephihah, one of the sons, was put into the position. He was voted in by the people. And he did so with an oath and covenant to keep the peace and freedom of the people and the sacred privilege to worship the Lord their God and to support and maintain the cause of God in all his days. And his name was Pahoran. And he did commence to reign, to judge, his reign of judgment in the 24th people of the year, the reign of judges over the people of Nephi. This has been one of the tougher ones for me because I'm not I always find these military things weird. I understand why he puts them in here. But I have a hard time with them, along with the geometry of it all, like where the cities and the lands are. I find it all baffling. I don't understand it. I'll leave that stuff to smarter men than I. But thus ends the 50th chapter of Alma. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. For those of us in Utah, yes, we have to work tomorrow. So make the best of it. And I hope you guys do have a wonderful evening. Spend time with your family if you can. And we will talk to you guys later. Remember, I do love you guys, and I pray for you. And I thank everyone for joining me. I'm just happy that people are subscribing to my channel, and I think you guys are amazing. And I thank everyone who does all the comments, the likes. Thank you for sharing my videos. It means a lot. You guys have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow morning for another scripture of the day.